the Apple event that we've all been waiting for has just ended, and they released so much, including the M1 Pro chip, the M1 Max chip, and AirPods 3, and HomePod Minis in new colours. In this video, I'm going to be going through every one of those, and I'm going to be telling you my thoughts and whether I think you should buy those products or not. So first of all, there's been an incremental but pretty important update to Apple Music. You can now choose between a lot of different plans, so that if you'd like to enable features like Siri support, like if you ask, "Hey Siri, play relaxation sounds." So if you had to have the update and have bought the plan, it would have worked. Here's some information about what the plans would cost. Now, let's talk about HomePod Mini. So HomePod Mini is exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is the colours. One thing I think Apple should have done though is, well, the previously leaked MacBooks with the iMac color palette. That would have been a great add-on to the Apple family. I belong to you. Now, let's talk about AirPods 3. Now, AirPods 3, I like them a lot, so I think they seem to be a combination in features and design between the AirPods 2 and the AirPods Pro. So Apple has actually increased the battery life by 1 hour with the AirPods 3, which I think could be an incremental update if you're looking to listening to your favourite tunes for that much longer. Also, new technologies like spatial audio has been added to the AirPods 3, which I mean, that's pretty good in my opinion. But one thing I'm really bugged about is no noise cancellation. This is reserved for the AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max models. So if you really want noise cancellation, then I guess you can get it, but who really needs noise cancellation anyway? And the AirPods 3 will cost you about $179, which is a good $50 over the AirPods 2. So one exclusive audio feature with the AirPods 3 is that it now has adaptive EQ, which would change and amplify or not amplify the technologies within your AirPods, which I think is pretty cool. And to help with the pairing between your iPhone and your AirPods, you've actually got the H1 audio chip, which would make it so that you can get that seamless experience of opening the case and then seeing the pop-up on your iPhone that AirPods 3 would you like to connect. This, however, is the same chip that we saw on the Apple AirPods 2, so not an update there, which I guess is fine because it was a good chip anyway, but... And you can also be reassured that your AirPods will be fine under a little bit of water, as they are sweat and water resistant, specifically IPX4. Something I really want to talk to you guys about is the new M1 Pro and M1 Max MacBooks. They are quite expensive though, at a hefty price of from £1,900. That is a £600 price difference. So you really have to think about it here. And make sure to subscribe for an upcoming video where I'm going to be talking about whether I think this, which is the M1 MacBook Air, is still a good computer after the release of these new M1 MacBooks. So even the M1 Pro is already a step up over the normal M1 chip. This has a 10-core CPU, which means that efficiency will be a lot better, with 8 performance cores and 2 efficiency cores, as well as a 16-core GPU. Now this should drastically improve performance and editing for stuff like that. So if you use Lightroom, Classic and Photoshop a lot, which are some of the apps that are native supposedly to the M1 chip, then it'll be fine and should be even better than the M1, which is amazingly fast anyway. An unexpected feature that we got was a 120Hz ProMotion display. Apple has said that with the M1 Pro MacBook Pro, you can watch 21 hours of video playback. So if you wanted to binge watch the latest series on Netflix, for example, then you could for 21 whole hours, which, I mean, that's crazy. You can have up to 32 gigabytes of unified memory, which is overkill for most people, but for pro users, I mean, this could be really helpful. And we're not done yet. 200 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth. This is just an amazing jump over the M1, which I believe had 40 gigabytes per second. Now the M1 Max, 10-core CPU, but a 32-core GPU, which brings even more power to the M1 MacBook lineup. This also means that you can have 64 gigabytes of memory. So if you really want to, edit and stream 4K files, 8K files, stuff like that, with Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve or any editor that you may or may not use, then you can with ease. 64 gigabytes of memory is really good. Like, that's excellent. And with the Super Retina XDR displays with these MacBooks, you'll be able to see great colors and even more accurate colors than the already great M1 MacBook Pro. That is the normal version. Now, Apple are making some claims like these chips are the fastest chips in a notebook. Well, that would be interesting for the reviews to see, right? Because, I mean, they may well might be, as the M1 was an exceptionally fast notebook. So the M1 Pro and the M1 Max should be even better. As well as this though, you can also configure both models to match your needs if you don't need as much power as they provide to you, or you just want even more. This also has an SSD slot, Thunderbolt 4 and HDMI if you want to take it on even better and even bigger screens. Now let's talk about the design. One of the problems that was present with most MacBooks before this, or one of the complaints, was about the notches, which is the top part or the black bezel of your MacBook. This has been dramatically reduced. Like, I'm talking if you got an iPhone 13 notch and took away all of the bezel around the current MacBook notch, that is basically what it would be. So, I mean, this is great. And other small improvements are that now the resolution of the camera has been doubled to 1080p, which just means you'll look clearer. I guess it's an incremental improvement that might matter to you. As well as this, speakers are really solid in this thing with a 6-speaker system with Dolby Atmos. And apparently, according to Apple, it's like having a portable cinema. It's obviously not literally, but with the speakers, that would be great. Okay, so that's everything you need to know about the Apple event. Comment down below, which one of these devices are your favorites? Is it the AirPods 3? Or is it the MacBooks? Or is it the new HomePod Mini colors? Because it's a hard decision. Anyway guys, so over the next 3 days, I'm going to be uploading like a lot of videos based on the current tech events. Tomorrow we've got the Pixel video coming up, which is going to be great. And then after that, the Samsung video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.